You have been known to advocate for the Iraqi resistance. What made you take this position, and how have you been treated as a result of it?
Well, Iraqi resistance is, I think there is an equation. If there is occupation, there must be resistance to it. A military, economically, cultural, all aspects of the occupation, the American, US-led occupation of Iraq, aiming or the destruction of all our identity, our history, which we've seen from first day of the occupation. So the natural way of reacting of the people, it might vary from one group of people to another, but in general, Iraqis had no doubt about that there will be a resistance. Some people thought, well, let's give ourselves some time, 6 months and we start, or a year or we start. But there was no argument about whether there will be a resistance or not. There is a resistance. Also, it's a legal right by United Nations resolutions that occupied people are entitled by all means, and I'm specifically talking about the armed resistance, not cultural resistance or political, people entitled to defend themselves by all means, including armed resistance. Also, by reading history, you know that powerful occupiers, in most cases, they don't leave the country by their own will. They have to be pushed out. We've seen that in France, the French resistance. We've seen it in Algeria, the Algerian people resisting, which cost them 1 million martyrs. We are seeing it in Palestine against the Israeli Zionist occupation. And it costs lives. It costs civilians, innocent lives. But there is a resistance, and the unique thing about the Iraqi resistance also, it's started immediately. Attacks against the occupiers started immediately, and there is a build-up, there is a public support, and people are joining it or offering all what they can to protect the people fighting. So these are the reasons, and I feel absolutely passionate about our people's right to rule themselves. We have the right. It's our Iraq, and they have no business whatsoever in being there. It's built on lies, and the lies are continuing, and they're inventing every day new lies to prolong the occupation, and employing local stooges, militias, to help them to do that. But in general, I mean, they're not going to stay there forever. It is our country, and they have to leave it. How I've been treated, I mean, in writing for certain papers, national papers, in English in specific, you're not allowed to say the word resistance. You have to maneuver almost to invent something, and what is acceptable, they accept the word insurgency, our insurgents, because it's neutral. It doesn't really invoke the idea of people's right to rule themselves, people's right to kick out the occupiers, and also it almost annihilates the right of people not accepting foreign powers dominating them. So reducing, or it does in the end, as if the people are not there. When you say insurgency, people are not there to resist. And this is what frightens the media. But I keep banging on and say it. I mean, this is very important. We have to call things what they are. This is kind of counter the misconceptions in the media, and I keep doing it.
What do you think will happen to Iraq after the occupiers leave?
I think it will take a long time. This is not going to be easy, or it's not going to happen tomorrow. It took them a long time planning, and it will take them very long time to leave. And unless we prove inside Iraq we are really powerful and the resistance continue fighting, and also there is kind of unity among the various resisting factions, that will be, I mean, there will be a delay of years and years and costing us more lives. What will happen? I think we will have to have the old state as it used to be. It's only 4 years or 5 years now, until now, the occupations. The first thing they did, they dismantled the state. They dismantled the army. We need to re-establish these. And also we still have the people who are the technocrats working. They used to work for the over the years, and they have the expertise to work, and we will have those back, especially the people who left the country and the displaced and the living in neighboring countries, and all millions of them. We have them. I think collaborators, most of them will leave, but others will, being disarmed of their the militia status and what they call the political parties, they'll be just acting like normal human beings, and we have to reach a kind of reconciliation with them, because we need really not to take revenge of people, but to live together and build Iraq, start building Iraq. And we have to start addressing also what is after the occupation in our work. Even if we are outside Iraq, we have to start to deal with this aspect, to tell people how to think and proceed from there, because it's no point of we just asking withdrawal of the troops and leaving the whole destruction there for Iraqis to clear that. That's almost impossible. We have to work on a program that brings justice to Iraq, paying of compensations to the civilians killed, the construction of the country, and all the program related to that. And we're relying on the people outside Iraq. I mean, the anti-war movement, organizations, unions, whoever, they did not want to dirty their hands in this war. There are countries they did not want to know about it. So we're relying on these people. So it's a huge task. It won't be easy. It will not go smoothly. The occupation was messy. The resistance is messy, and I think everything is going to be like that. But the aim is, there are really real, genuine Iraqis willing to sacrifice their lives for building Iraq, for the freedom and the justice, and having a unified, independent Iraq. Well, I think we have to encourage people to take any part possible, and they are capable of, in the resistance. And the resistance, many levels. It's not necessarily you go and join the armed resistance, but supporting in the political and the civil society, neighborhood, community, women organizations, cultural resistance is all is needed. We are facing the biggest military power in the world, and we need all the help possible from all kinds of people, and there is enough room for everybody to take part in the resistance.